God. Ask God.
Hi Scott, it's Phil from the UK here. I've got a couple of questions for you, but they're actually about your products instead of mine. I remember you mentioning about your second product that you didn't really check the depth of the market, and as a result, you were only seeing a handful of sales a day. And I just wondered what you have done with that product to try and increase your sales and get yourself up the rankings. I seem to remember you saying that you had a few things planned, and I was just wondering sort of how you were tackling that really. And the second part of the question was about your own diversification. You mentioned that obviously with more competition, especially with your first product that's been really successful for you, you've been looking at diversifying. I wondered if that meant, are you just expanding within the current niche that you're already in, or are you actually rolling products out into other niches and looking at completely different products altogether, just to sort of try and spread yourself as much as possible? Anyway, hopefully I will hear your answer soon. Keep up the good work. Thanks a lot.
Hey, Phil, thank you so much for the question. And I have to say again, whenever I hear someone from the UK, you guys sound so smart to me. I mean, if I had just a little bit of that accent, I might sound smarter. I've always said that. Even I think too, people that wear glasses look a little smarter. Yeah, I kind of envy you guys a little bit. But hey, great accent, and thanks so much for the questions. And I'm going to go ahead and give you my answers. So the depth of the market is a big thing. Okay, it really, really is. And I recently talked about that again, and I'll continue to talk about it because I think that's one area that could really make a big. You can make a big mistake if you don't understand depth. All right. If you just, look at the top two sellers and you say, wow, these guys are doing great. And then you see that there's really not any depth. So you have to compete with 1 and 2. And really on number 5, there's really no sales being made there or very little. And I did make that mistake on product number 2. Now, since then, I really haven't done anything to it. And realistically, it's probably selling on average about 2 a day. Some days 0, some days 4, some days 6, some days 0, right? So it kind of balances out to where it's right around 2 a day. I'm not doing a darn thing to it. I just kind of let it sit there, no promotions. And I do think still, even by just leaving it there, that it will eventually probably move to 5 a day, maybe consistently, maybe even 7 or 10, because there is a little bit of a demand at different parts of the year, okay? So with that being said, I would do it totally different now, but because I launched it and it still is getting a few sales here and there, I'm not going to pull it, and I'll probably replace the inventory because it's not that big of a deal. All right. So yeah, I did learn from that, and I want other people to learn from that. I did not look at the depth. Okay. So that's that. Okay. Now moving into question number 2. Okay. You guys heard me talk before about, diversifying products. Okay. And what that basically means is don't depend on product number 1 or product number 3. You really want to create your product line. And I still am a huge believer in that, and I'm working on that. Here's why. Recently, on my product number 1, I've noticed a lot of new sellers. Now, let me also say product number 1 for me, I didn't do a ton of altering of the product. So it's easier to private label. So with that, what happens? You get a bunch of people coming into a market. And then, yes, I have a better listing. Yes, I have a bunch more reviews. My feedback is higher. And I still am probably one of the top 3 or 4 that are selling, but it's getting harder because I didn't really differentiate in the beginning. And there's a few different things that I'm looking to do. I'm even looking to maybe add some variations to it now. So this way here, I can reduce the price, but then still get people into the listing and then almost like upsell them inside of the listing. So those are some different things that I'm doing. It's still doing rather well, but I am playing around with the price. And in order to get the sales going, especially after the summer, because the summer was a little bit slower, we're going ahead and we're trying to lower the price just to spike sales, then bring the price back. So it's going to be this ongoing little thing here that we got to do. So that's why I'm thinking about variations. But with that all being said, it's also made me realize that I need to roll out more than what I have right now currently. Right now, you guys know that I did launch a third product. That third product has variations. That one is showing really good signs that it's going to do well, especially as we get into fourth quarter. And that one there, I have literally done just one promotion on that, maybe 100 units, and got some reviews coming in, and it's got 4 variations. So that one there has been doing pretty well for not doing much to push it, okay? That one there is a little bit more of a unique product, and I think that it's going to be harder for other people to get into that particular product itself without, I guess not being different, or I don't even know what I'm saying. Maybe it's this bulletproof coffee. I can't even think about what I'm trying to say here. It's a different product. It's not as easy for someone to duplicate, okay? So now I am going to be focusing on that, especially with the fourth quarter coming. But with that being said, I'm also now thinking about what other product I can add to it. And I'm in the process right now of adding another product to my line for this brand. Now, you also asked, am I thinking about going into other brands? And up to this point, I have not. All right. Now, this is where I can do a whole episode on what I'm about to share with you. And I probably will, and I probably should, but it's kind of early in the stages, but I'll give you a little sneak peek here. Okay. Now, recently, this is why this opens up so many doors. Once you learn this process, it opens up so many doors to what you can do. Okay, if you just kind of think outside the box, or if you see an opportunity and someone else isn't taking advantage of it, and then you can come in and help. So my thought was, I would love to get into another brand without having to set up a new brand, right? I want to be able to kind of go into someone's existing business, or someone that wants to start an existing business, maybe get them going, or maybe they're already going, and then I can come in, maybe fund it a little bit with some cash, and then from there start that other brand. And now I can be working in 2 different markets. And that there is diversification. That is honestly how you will diversify on Amazon. Now, again, we can say, okay, well, what about the one brand that you got going? You've spent a lot of time on it. Why not build that brand and maybe take it offline, or not offline, take it off of Amazon. Offline, no one would see it. We'd have to go with brick and mortar. Take it off and do like an e-commerce store or an authority site. I have started doing that. Again, I will be talking more about that. Recently, I've hired a company to actually build me an authority site that's going to drive traffic over the next 6 to 8 months, up to a year it's going to take before I start seeing some traffic, organic traffic from Google. Now, I'm doing that because I want to be less dependent on Amazon. I want to build an external channel. I want to start getting traffic and sales to my own e-commerce. Again, a way to protect myself in a sense. So I haven't thought about doing this up until this point because I feel as though Amazon is a great place to get the ball going, to start using that platform, but then start to think about those other opportunities. Now, some of you may be getting started. Maybe you're a little strapped for cash, but you have the knowledge because you've listened to this podcast and you kind of know how everything works. And then from there, you can go ahead and take someone that's wanting to do this, but doesn't have the capital, or vice versa. I think that's what I just said. Or maybe you don't have the capital, they do have the capital, or maybe you have the capital, but you don't have the know-how. In this case, you do have the know-how. So you get what I'm saying, right? There's opportunities for you to get involved in the game just by knowing what you know, okay? Or if you know someone that has a little bit of cash that they want to invest, then that could be an opportunity. So I've kind of taken that amongst myself. And I know this is kind of like all over the map, but it really brought up this question anyway, really brought this back up to me that I really should start talking about this, because this is stuff that I'm doing in my own businesses, right? I say businesses because there is more than one now, right? We've got, my Amazon business, and then now I'm thinking about going out and doing an external brand with another partner. And then I'm also doing an external website or blog that's going to get traffic, that's going to bring people to my e-commerce store. So that's a separate business almost in itself, but it's an extension of the Amazon business brand. So you can see there's a whole bunch of different things that I'm kind of working on, but I'm doing it to really diversify the different streams of income, okay? And it is really important to do that. So I wouldn't say start on day one and launch 2 different brands on 2 different sellers account, I would say do not do that. I've always said start small, learn the process, take a brand, get it built to 3 to 5 products, and then from there you can decide if you want to continue to build out that line or if you want to go into another brand. Now I know some people, they just go out into multiple brands, they throw multiple products out there and they see what sticks, and then they run with the one that sticks. That's fine too. It totally depends on each individual and what you want to achieve. But I'm so glad that you asked this question, Phil, because I do want to talk about this more, and I will be kind of giving you the play-by-play as I go through this stuff. There will be ups, there will be downs, and I will obviously share them with you. So thanks so much for the question. I hope that this kind of made sense. I think it at least showed you that I am actively working in different parts of my businesses. So this way here, I can create more businesses and more stability, and then also more opportunities coming down the line. You guys heard me talk about jungleflippers.com, right? The one site now that I'm kind of on the board of directors for. And this basically is a site where we're going to be able to buy Amazon businesses or sell Amazon businesses. So now if I have my brand that also has an external authority website with it that's getting traffic, that's going to be worth more. The other thing is maybe I start this second brand with a partner, and then maybe him and I sell it off in a year. We make 200 grand and we split it. Right? So there's all of these different ways that we're able to position ourselves and kind of maneuver our way through this business or businesses, because I don't believe that anyone should depend on one source of income. But in the beginning, when you're getting started, you got to start from scratch, right? You got to start somewhere. And to me, the easiest place to start and get your feet wet is Amazon.com and learning that process. And then once you learn it, you can adapt that to any particular business that has physical products. If you guys want to submit a question, head over to theamazingseller.com/ask, and you can do that. I want to also, again, remind you guys, if you're brand new and this is your first time to the show, I want to welcome you. I love hanging out with you guys. This is just awesome to be able to virtually connect like this. And that's why I love the Ask Scott sessions. But if you are brand new and you're just getting your feet wet and you don't understand the entire process, the entire business model, I would recommend attending one of my live free workshops. This is where I break it down for you in 5 phases: how to pick a market and a product, how to source it, how to do a pre-launch, how to do a launch, how to promote the product, and everything in between. We go over that on a workshop, and we go through every single thing. We also do live Q&A. So if you want to attend one of them, I would love to invite you to the next one, and you can register for the next one by heading over to theamazingseller.com/workshop, and you can register there for an upcoming workshop. Well, hey there. Thank you so much for listening to that episode of Ask Scott. Now, that was just a highlight from one of our full episodes where I generally answer 3 to 4 questions on a podcast. If you want to go back and listen to all of the past archives of not just the Ask Scott session, but all of the full episodes where I do interviews with top Amazon sellers, people starting from scratch and building a business, if you want to listen to any of those episodes, head over to theamazingseller.com and you can find all of that over there. You can also find details there on how you can ask your own question and get it aired on an upcoming Ask Scott session and possibly see it here on YouTube or just on the podcast. All right, so definitely head over to theamazingseller.com. There's tons of resources over there for you to be able to build your e-commerce and Amazon business. So definitely go check that out. Now, I just wanted to remind you one thing before I let you go. There's a lot of information out there and some of it is really, really good. What I want you to remember is you have to not just consume the information, you have to actually apply that information. So take this information that you learned here today and apply it to your business. And this way here, you can get results. As my shirt says, I wear it almost daily. Take action. We'll see you guys.